Larry Gets Lost at the North Pole, illustrated by John Skewes, written by Michael Mullin. Make sure to grab your own copy to follow along with me. Larry's best pal is his human, Pete. Time spent with him is always a treat. Throughout every season, they're a sight to behold, but the real fun begins when the days get cold. Winter means snowballs and sledding thrills, hot cocoa and mittens to warm up the chills. Pete and Larry know that, whatever the weather, life is a blast when they're together. For their latest adventure, the dog and his boy went to a festival filled with Christmas joy. As Larry's family made their way through the crowd, they heard singing and sleigh bells, but not too loud. Larry watched all the people. His tail started to wag when he saw a cookie fall out of a tall woman's bag. Larry always loved a quick snack before meals. The cookie landed near a strange car with no wheels. A sign said, "Please do not sit on the sleigh." But Larry couldn't read, so he climbed it anyway. While the cookie relieved Larry's hunger itch, his wagging tail knocked into a big wooden switch. With a whir, the strange vehicle seemed to start up. Then it shook, making Larry one scared little pup. "Uh-oh," thought Larry with a loud yelp sound. Whatever he was sitting in was now up off the ground. He held on tight, too afraid to let go. Soon Pete and the festival were far down below. He zoomed through the sky for a minute or two, then made a soft landing somewhere very new. The air smelled like peppermint. It was crisp and clean. This town was the most magical he'd ever seen. Bright colored lights twinkled, making Larry smile. He wondered if he'd be in this place for a while. Missing Pete made him wish he would not be staying, even though he heard beautiful music playing. Climbing down across the bridge was a little bit tough. Below, he saw people carrying mechanical stuff. The scene looked like the festival, but so much more. If he wanted to get home, he'd have to explore. Inside a big room, Larry's eyes went wide. He saw computer screens meant to track and to guide. There were blinking and spinning lights on each one. Larry thought that in here, important work was done. The next door was open, so he peeked in to check. He saw a ride like his, only this was high tech. It looked shiny with all kinds of dazzling features and was being built by those happy people creatures. While they smiled and tinkered and bustled around, Larry saw older scrap pieces all over the ground. He came to a room with very little sound. It seemed like a library was what he had found. Folks were reading and writing with lots of care. There were books in stacks and on shelves everywhere. On the walls were portraits in fancy frames. Each had a plaque, but Larry couldn't read names. He thought hanging out here would be rather nice, but he had to keep moving. He didn't think twice. Outside, Larry followed the scent of mint. It smelled so good, he started to sprint. Instead of veggies, this garden had sugary sticks. Larry couldn't resist sneaking in a few licks. Next, Larry was in a magical location. Everything was lit up and filled with decoration. Walking through the evergreens was delightfully fun. He saw string lights and ornaments on every one. He missed Pete as he looked up at the wonderful trees. Their smaller one at home looked a lot like these. Then he saw a huge building ahead on the street. Maybe this was the way he could get back to Pete. More little workers were milling about, some going in and some coming out. Larry got closer, still trying to hide. He needed to see what was going on inside. The first thing he noticed was a whole lot of noise. Gigantic machines that were all making toys. Larry was surprised at all the things they could make. He jumped on a moving belt, but that was a mistake. Robot arms grabbed him. He was suddenly trapped. Then paper, tape, and ribbons. He was suddenly wrapped. He struggled, and with some help he didn't see, he was able to unwrap and get himself free. Next, he saw strange animals in a giant shed. Each was big with branches growing out of his head. Larry was so small, he didn't think they would meet. He spent his time dodging their giant feet. With each step, Larry landed on prickly hay. They weren't horses, but that didn't stop the horseplay. An alarm bell sounded with a serious voice. The animals seemed to listen, then make a choice. They jumped around happy, then galloped away. Larry followed. What did that booming voice say? In the center of a new room, there was no mistaking, stood the high-tech flyer Larry saw them making. The finished vehicle had a dazzling shine. Larry watched as the animals got in line. He could see they were getting set to be latched. Larry knew this from getting his own leash attached. A team of workers kept busy checking the weather. Then someone said, "Oh no, the latch won't fit together." As they poked and tinkered and tried all the tricks, Larry recognized the boss from the library pics. He had a white beard, a red suit, and big smile. He smelled like cookies and had a jolly style. He wasn't the kind to let problems get in his way. Everyone fell quiet. Then Larry heard him say, "Fetch an old sleigh. A new plan has to start." Said a worker. "We took those apart." The boss was deflated. The situation looked grim. Then Larry remembered the sleigh that brought him. If only he had some way to show, he barked. And someone asked, "Is there something you know?" A second bark was the only way he could reply. Then someone else said, "Hey, who's that cute little guy?" Only Larry knew there was another working sleigh, so he brought everyone to it, leading the way. They passed all the places Larry saw before, even though his landing spot was right next door. Everyone worried they might miss Christmas this year, but when they saw Larry's sleigh, they let out a cheer. They all wanted to celebrate the fantastic news, but they had to get moving. They had no time to lose. They went back for the presents and packed the sleigh full, then hooked up the reindeer who were ready to pull. The big boss helped Larry to a seat right on top, saying, "First, a very special delivery stop." The ride home was truly amazing for Larry. With the big guy driving, this flight was less scary. Down below, a sparkling magic lit up houses and trees. He stuck out his tongue to catch snowflakes on the breeze. The next morning, Pete looked under the tree. One present moved a little. What could that be? He opened it, then gasped and shouted, "Hooray!" Larry was home. What a magnificent day! That was Larry Gets Lost at the North Pole, illustrated by Skewes, written by Michael Mullin.